There it is. Holy Moses. Sorry. Let me go post our link over on our website, jollyrogerukulele.com, and we will run down our list of songs for today. Edit page. Exactly 5 minutes late, which is an eon in internet time. Link to join. Delete. Command V. Shift. Highlight. Link. Enter. Edit. Settings. Open link. New window. Update. And update. Okay, that gets everybody. That gets everybody the link. Today we're going to play Frère, Jacques. We're starting book 1 again, and then Bach Menuett, which is a pretty challenging book 2 piece. So we will probably be on that a couple weeks, and then out of book 3 for the members only, All of Me, and that's why I was a little bit late getting in here, as I was busy messing with my playlist here, and it's not being cooperative. So I'm going to go duplicate it one more time. Ukulele book 3. I'll get back here. Duplicate. Go here. Add. I'm playing All of Me just off the list, but it's faster if I have it ready to go. Where's All of Me? Ukulele and baritone. Okay, good. Hi everybody. Let's see. Did anybody show up today? I don't have my chat bar for some reason. Close. All right, there's a few of you here. Good. So my chat bar doesn't seem to be working. I don't know why. Where is it? Is it hiding around here somewhere? I don't see it. Huh. Weird. All right. Well, so I don't know if the chat bar is working or not. I am hoping you can hear me. The audio is set to the correct thing, so let's hope things are going well. I don't know why it's being weird. If you are able to chat, unfortunately, I can't see the chat right now. Why is that not showing up? It's marked as showing chat. Turn it off. Turn it back on. There it is. Okay, oh, there you guys are. Robin is here, Vic is here, Linda is here, and hey, Kat, good to see you. All right, so these Sundays, I don't want them to belabor, right? This is we have other ways of learning how to play these tunes. So I'm really here to play 6 songs, okay? 3 songs, 2 different ways, basically. And so that way you can play along with me and make sure you're continuing your journey toward getting great on ukulele. And I think that's the main reason. I hate not having regular time to just play ukulele, just play solo stuff. And so this is why we're here. So grab your Frère Jacques version. This is the song we teach everybody to all the time, always, right? Hey, Diane. Still setting up. Yeah, I was still setting up too. Big thing when you're starting ukulele is make sure you know it's George Clooney Eats Apples. That's what you tune into. Make sure you change your strings if you play a lot every 6 months. If you don't play very often, once a year. If your strings are older than that, then that's not going to. You're making it harder on yourself. And fluorocarbon is the stuff you want to use. I put Savara's ukulele strings on everything, not because they pay me, but because they're good and they're priced reasonably and they're generally available. So those are the ukulele strings I recommend you use. I'm wearing a hat because I have a weird haircut these days, and so I apologize. I also grew all this out too. I wanted to look 20 years older really quickly. Jan is in. Hey, Jan. Now, we're going to play this 2 ways. I'm going to play the melody the first time. You're going to play the chords, and then we're going to do the opposite. Okay? So first time through, you're just going to get your A chord on. And this will tell you which level of right-handedness you are. If you are thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, that's fine. Okay? If you are thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, that's wonderful too. If you are thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, that's wonderful. And if you are thinking 1, I would start you with your thumb on C string. Thumb 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Notice this doesn't change, okay? What your approach over here matters a lot. Okay, so pick one of those to do. You have 4 choices: thumb, index, 4-finger plucking, and 3-finger arpeggio. You could do a 4, but then your thumb is on this G string and it ends up sounding weird. Sandy's in, Linda's in. Hey Linda, 84 degrees in Maui today. Yeah, it's basically the same as everywhere else there. All right, here we go. You play the chords, I'll play the melody. 4 beats in every measure except the last measure. You can stop after 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Now this time we're going to play the melody together. Okay, remember 2, 4, 0. You should memorize these. 0, 2, 4, 0, because you're going to teach somebody how to play ukulele correctly down the road. So this is the first song, so you might as well memorize them. And then 4, 5, 7. Do that twice. Hard one. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4. Open. Okay, and then of course at the end, first string, second string, first string. Okay, from the top. We'll play it together. 1, 2, ready, play. Last one, I'm going to play the chords, you're going to play the melody. I will hum along, so I will sing the numbers so you know what you're doing. Okay? 1, 2, oh, 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 there's the note. It goes way too high for me. 1, 2, ready, play. Oh, 2, 4, oh, oh, 2, 4, oh, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. Let's start again. I didn't even have my chord on. That's going to sound weird. Let's just do it this way. Okay, from the top. 1, 2, ready, play. Oh, 2, 4, oh, oh, 2, 4, oh, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, oh, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, oh, first string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string. Okay, I don't know how you did. Hopefully you did great. All right. Turns out it's harder than you think when you're in an ensemble. When you're at home by yourself, you can just play it at whatever speed. But when we're together, we have to play it at my speed. Lovely. Again, when you're teaching this piece of music, make sure you teach them how to read the tablature, right? It's upside down. That one line means it's the bottom string. Always complicated. Those numbers are your frets, not your fingers. And then I always take a minute to show, hey, there's the standard notation. This is what a quarter note looks like. This is what a half note looks like. And this is what a whole note looks like. Oh, we don't have any whole notes. Eighth notes, sorry. Eighth notes, quarter notes, and half notes. And talk about what those mean, right? We don't need to know what they are vertically because that's what tablature is for. But we do need to know what they are horizontally. 1 beat, 2 beats, or a half a beat, okay? And so when you talk to, when you're getting somebody started, make sure to show them that. All right, let's do it on baritone, okay? Now, if you don't have a baritone, you play the chords, and will sound great together. If you do have a baritone, you can have your choice. Okay, beautiful. All right, baritone version. Now remember, baritones if you do this, you're playing an E chord, okay? Ukuleles, your E chord is here. So you have to do a bar with the pinky. Okay, it'll sound different than this, but that's your E chord. So that's the chord you want to have on if you only have a ukulele at the house. Okay? We'll do one time singing. We'll sing down through measure 8, and then we'll jump back right back up to measure 1, and we'll do the second time. I'll play the melody. Okay? So if you're on baritone, play the melody, and if you're on ukulele, play chords both times. Here we go. Chords and singing, and then melody. 1, 2, ready, play. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, sonnez les matines, ding dang dong, ding dang dong, to the top. Okay, there you go. Baritone and ukulele. At some point, you probably want to own both. Who knows? Okay. Now we go on to book 2. So, oh, by the way, if you are in thinking like, what's the future going to look like? Let me go grab one thing out of here so I can talk to you about how that looks. So the lessons are on the ukulele and baritone lessons page, duh. And the first 7 lessons are just informational type stuff, right? There's important stuff. It's important information. I do those 7 lessons when I'm teaching one-on-one, so don't skip them, obviously. The only one you can skip is number 1. I mean, even number 1 has got some stuff that's helpful. But then next week, guys, we'll dig into that little booklet called Key of A Strummer. So we just did lesson 8, and then next week we'll do lesson 9, okay? So that little booklet, print it out and have it ready to go. We're going to beat that thing out. We may spend 2 weeks or 3. I don't know. We'll spend plenty of time on making sure that one's cool. All right. Now, Bach Menuett, we're going to be on it for a few weeks, and those of you guys who played this before, you will agree. This is a lot. So let me pull it up, and let's see if we can turn it into something. What do I have it called? Oh, and by the way, for book 2 and 3, I'm not going to just do like all jazz and then all this and all that. I'm going to mix it up, whatever strikes my fancy from week to week. So you'll have to look on the website what we'll be doing next week. But next week, and by the way, it's not every week; it's every other week. So we won't meet next week, but we will meet on the 26th or something. 26. Yeah, we'll meet on the 26th, and of course, I'll remind you guys on email. Bach Menuett. What's it called? Menuett. That's what it's called. Like, I know it's in here. We've played this plenty. It's not there. Where are you? I'll find it. I know it's in here. I was playing it earlier this week. Menuett solo complete and Menuett. Oh, it's because no, that's right, and Menuett. And there's the other one called Menuett in D baritone. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Okay, I got that. All right, done. So, solo complete. Here's the thing with this piece. It's an endurance piece, and you don't want to burn yourself out on it. Okay. So 1, there are repeats all the way through this. As you're working on it, you ignore repeats, right? Because each page, you need to know how to play pages 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those all have different information on them. But you don't need to redo all the repeats. And when you're practicing, it seems like a major waste of time to do that over and over and over. So let's see how far we get. Let's say we're going to work on this until for the next 15 minutes. See how far we get, and then we'll know. Okay. Now I'm going to really focus in on TuffUke. Those of you guys that are working on chords or working on melody, that's a perfectly legitimate and important tool that you need to be working on as well. But for on Sundays, I want to work on TuffUke, and that means I want to spend all of our time really digging into the good stuff, right? Now, notice this piece starts off with a D chord and your pinky on 5. Now, most of you can do this. Hold your G chord, pinky on 5. If you can't do that, you need to do index, middle, and pinky like that. Okay. Same thing. This is a little bit of an inferior positioning because typically the next one's going to end up being a G chord anyway, so you've got to be ready for that. But in this case, you sort of pick one and stick with it. I use both. If I'm on a ukulele, I usually use the D chord with my pinky here. But if I'm on a larger instrument, I tend to use index, middle, and pinky. Okay. All right. Notice at measure 4, you're going to have this bar on 7 and pinky on 10. Okay. That's why we work on the Make It Better bar stuff. Okay, and then right after that, you're going to slide down to bar 2 with your middle finger on 3. Okay, then G chord, G chord, G chord, repeat, G chord. So those are your main technical moments, right? The other technical issue is you're going to be coming up to fret 9, 10, these. So try not to be chasing your pinky finger all around. You want to be chasing your index finger. So you'll put your index finger. If the highest note is a 9, I can reach that with my pinky if my index finger is on 5. So really you're thinking probably those are your 2 positions. First position and 5th position. Okay? Together, nice and slow. I'll stop if there's something that seems fascinating to talk about. I'm just going to use my thumb to learn the song. 1, 2, 3. Just an A chord, a D chord. Slide back. D7. Okay, and then you would repeat that page. Okay, when you're learning it, don't worry about repeats, right? You worry about the hard parts. Find your hard parts and work on those. Let's go back through again. I want to play it with a claw position now, just because it'll sound a little more classical, a little more Baroque. Okay, and again, you will probably want to be trying everything both ways as well, playing it with your thumb and playing it with your claw, so you can get all of your skill set together. Okay, from the top, 1, 2, 3. And that's that. Okay. Remember, when you play the first time through, you play 16. The second time through, you do not play measure 16. You go on to 17. Okay, so there's page 1. So that's going pretty well. Okay, so I think what we'll have time to do today is we'll do page 1 and 2. Next week we'll do pages 3 and 4, and then the week after we'll play the whole thing. Okay, now when I say the week after, I mean 2 weeks from now. Okay, I got to keep saying that. That's it. We're not meeting next week. Okay, so this will be 2 weeks worth of music. If you learn, honestly, if you learn these 2 pages over the next 2 weeks where you could really play them, like you know what's on there and things are going great, that would be a lifelong learning success story, right? This is a world-class piece of music. Every pianist knows it. Most everybody every classical person knows it, and most musicians know this piece. It's super wildly popular, and so being able to play it on ukulele is a kind of a gift, right? Page 2, we continue in the G major mode. Okay, we're going to be having the D chord again, and then I'm sorry. We're in the G major mode, and then we have the D major. I got my baritone brain on for some reason. Okay, and then we go to an A chord here. Okay, again, all these are out of book 1, so there's nothing here that's surprising. Again, at measure 23, bar on 7, pinky on 10. Now, here's a mess. Okay, when you get to 24, when you see a mess like that, here's the advice always. What's your lowest number? 9. That's where your bar goes. Okay, don't even think about it. What's the lowest number? 9. Okay, that's 9, and then I got to put a 10 on and an 11. Look what I got. I got my F shape, but I'm up here on 9. Okay? Okay? So when you see a mess like that, don't freak out. Just like, what's the lowest number? Boom. And then what other things do I got to do to modify it? Okay? And then we have this choice, right? The next note's way down here on the fretboard, or sometimes I can find them way up here on the fretboard, but they're on a different string. But in this case, because we're headed right back down to the end of the fretboard, okay, I just gone ahead and opened it up. Bum, bum. It's always a judgment call. And then bar, and then you go back, and everything else is you've already run into. Okay, so getting those main chords in place and then thinking about what is the smartest finger to use. I'm not always the best example of that because sometimes I'm grabbing just whatever is convenient, and sometimes I've really thought it through, right? And theoretically, you would know the good ones I've thought through versus the ones where I'm not doing so great. All right, let's try this page nice and slow again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's a perfect example of chasing your pinky. In this case, you might get away with it, but look at what you got to do. You've got your A chord at the beginning of 22, and then 5, 4, 2, 4. I just went bum, 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 but that's a really poor strategy. Better off to do A chord, 2, 4, move your whole hand. You're going to get cleaner, prettier sounds. It does mean that that chord sound gets abandoned when you pull it off. But nobody's going to care because they want these nice and clean. And then you're ready for your bar chord. Okay, so that's a thought is after that 4, switch to 5th position. And then you're going to sound cleaner. And then you're on... And this mess, remember, slide up. Okay, so let's go from measure 22. Okay, 22. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. Quarter notes. repeat. So let's do it together one time. I'm going to play with my thumb this time and see how it sounds. 1, 2, 3. Go on or repeat. I messed up one thing, and it's probably important to talk about. Measure 32. Measure 32, you got this G chord. And you got to get that 5 on right away because it's an 8th note there. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so it'll sneak up on you. All right. 2 weeks, 2 sheets of paper. That seems like something that by the time we get together next time, you're going to be killing it. We'll play through it quickly. And then the next 2 pages are the minor feelings. So if you haven't run into G minor yet, now's the time to get dialed in on it. This is a G chord, happy. Here's G minor, sad. Okay? And so it's going to have a much more resonant and deep and sad feeling to it in the next 2 pages. And obviously, don't be shy about looking ahead. The skill set is very similar. There's a couple of moments that we'll probably talk about, but for the most part, I'd rather have you not read forward and just dig into the first 2 pages. Okay, so I think that's the plan. 2 pages out of Bach's Menuett, and then we'll save the minor section for the next meeting. Okay, it's an incredible piece of music, incredible. And so if you spent a lot of time and just got super good at it, it would be worth your time. Plus, all of the skill sets here are classic ukulele skill set. There isn't anything on here that's not going to come up a million times of playing ukulele, and that's very typical of Bach. You learn Bach to learn all of the rest of music, right? And here we are again. Let's play it on baritone really quickly. Okay, and so if you will have ukulele only, go grab your the baritone sheet anyway, because you're going to be playing the chords, and you'll be giving me 3 beats. Okay, and so my baritone version. Oops. Okay, my note on it says pagination. It means I got terrible page turns. The ukulele version's got better page turns. All right. I'm going to play it on baritone. On ukulele, you're playing from the baritone sheet, and you're using the names of the chords, but not the shapes underneath them. Okay? No repeats, just the first 2 sections. 1, 2, 3.
It's going to be super cool. Like, it's okay to slow down, give yourself a little bit of time between those two sections. When you get to the end of section 2, let it linger just a moment, and then wham bottom, and then into page 3, or the third section. All right, I'll try to clean up the pagination on the baritone page. That's not good. The page turns suck. All right, there's that. Okay, 2 weeks, 2 pages, book 2. Look at that. I'm a numeralist. I don't know. Numismatics is my new thing. All right, last thing is all of me. All right, and again, guys, those of you who hate jazz, just every week I will pick something out of somewhere else in there. We'll do some pop tunes. We'll do some classical. Do some jazz. Do some whatever, right? And so whatever happens to strike me as something that I feel like I want to play that week, that's what we will do. You've got 2 weeks on all of me. And so I want to dig into it because it is, here again, a really tremendous piece of music. And I don't know, I don't necessarily think it's that hard to play, right? There's some moments, but overall, you can get this. All right, let's see how we do. Okay. Check my tuning. Something seems amiss. All right, all of me. C chord to get started, C major 7 to move on to. You've got your E7s that are going to be coming on, and sometimes it's going to be a 3 on there. You do have a choice with E7, ring, and then, or use your pinky. This would be a more classical fingering. Okay, don't neglect your pinky. I neglected my pinky forever, and I'm paying for it now. Okay, don't do that. Measure 7, you have a D minor. And sometimes you're going to use your pinky there. Okay, so that's good, challenging. Everything else is straightforward on page 1. At measure 14, usually we use this D7 or this D7. You've got a hybrid here at 14 of this one and with the 3 on. Okay. 15, you've got your G7 shows up, but leaves the E chord, E note open. A note. Okay, so that you'll leave that up. And then in page 2, again, not a ton of new information. You've got a G chord, C chord, C major 7 chord, E7. I am really in baritone brain today. And A7, our regular plain old A7. Again, D minor shows up. You do have it measure 25, beautiful bar. Okay, now I wrote it as bar 3, 2, but I've since on my notes I have bar 8, 7. That way I don't have to move the bar. 8, 7 is on the 2nd string. It's probably smarter fingering there. That way your bar's still at 5. Now the next moment you got to put an index finger on 4. Notice there's a mess of numbers there. You put the index finger on 4. Okay. And then you got that chord, whatever that chord is, F minor 6. Really cool. Okay. Notice at measure 28, it kind of looks like an F chord, but it's not. It's an A7 with an added note. Okay, with an added B note in there. Okay, it's either an A suspended 2nd or an A7 with a 9th. I don't know which one it is. Measure 30. Remember this G chord, G7 chord up here. 5, 5, 5, 7. But use your pinky there. Okay, so there's that. And then the last weird chord is at 32. Is your diminished shape. 2 index fingers, index, middle, ring, and pinky. Okay, that's going to be there, and that's it. Okay, so let's take a look at it. And again, 2 weeks on this piece of music, and it's going to be great, right? This is another world-class song. So you've got book 3 and book 2 and book 3 are world-class, and book 1, Gary has some weird obsession with Frère Jacques. You got all good music to keep you busy for the next 2 weeks. Don't go grab anything else. Just play these songs, okay? Just play the heck out of them for 2 weeks, and then come in and tell me that it wasn't worth your time. Okay? All of me, we play down to measure 34 and come back to the top. From the top, and I'm not going to go fast. Give you lots of opportunity to get lost and get back on, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Triplet. D minor with your pinky. D minor with your pinky. D minor with your pinky. D7, ring, pinky, whoops, I just went to the wrong measure. From measure 14, please, 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Pinky. G7. Page turn. Bar on 5. 8, 7, weird chord. Pinky, C chord, diminished chord, D minor 7, whatever this is. Okay, back to the top, go. Second ending. All right, in my mind, that's perfect music. Like it's relatively playable. It's super complex with all those jazz tones in there, and you don't have to play it fast. You can play at whatever speed works for you Take your time to get everything. Those moments that are hard, go work on those. If I was working on this just now, just what I just learned about myself, measure 26, right? Boom, boom, boom. Right? Getting into it and getting back out of it are the two things I are for sure would be working on. And otherwise, pretty straightforward in my mind, especially at level 3 that you guys are at. And so, yeah, for sure, double check that everything on this is going really smoothly for you. I'm going to play the baritone version of it just to wrap up. I see Lynn made it in. Hey, Lynn. You love the beard. I grow a beard out every year for about 5 weeks, and then it drives me wild, and then I cut it off. But for right now, in light of the fact I have to wear a hat, I thought, well, if you're going to wear a hat, you need a beard because, you know, that's the way the world works. All right, I'm going to play the baritone version of it. You guys are going to play along with me. Now, a good chance you're not going to know all the chords, right? Because you didn't sit down prior to the class and go through it and figure everything out, right? So if it says G major 7, just play a G chord, right? B7, and you're like, I don't know what a B7 is. A7, B7. Ta-da, right? It's just that simple. A7, slide it up to B7. You know your A minor. E minor. Just play this one. The E minor 7 is actually this, but you can play this one. It'll sound fine. You know your E7. You just spend a ton of time working on it. You know your D7, right? Bar, ping, ring. What else is in here? C. You got a C6. Just play a C. It is actually just open strings on the ukulele. But you can play a regular C. When you get to C minor, the C minor 6, play a C minor. That's just a three string bar on fret 3. G major 7, play a G. D minor, play a D minor. So in other words, a lot of times you don't know all of these fancy chords exactly, but you know them close enough, right? Down at measure 31, G major 7. I'm just going to play a G. D, B flat, diminished 7. Just play a B flat. It's fine. A minor 7. Just play an A minor. D augmented. What is that? Play a D chord, right? All right. So that's your ukulele job. All right, we're wrapping up. Lynn's here. We got to get out. She's from New Jersey. She'll pick a fight. All right, from the top. Let's see if I can do. I think I did thumb the first time. I'm going to try index finger. See what happens. Or claw plucking. Okay, measure 26, only 3, no 2. Measure 26, measure 26, only 3, no 2. Measure 26, only 3, no 2. Okay. I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. All right, let's go. Thanks, Jan. 1, 2, ready, play. sorry. Getting ready to write. What is this? I don't know what that chord is. And from the top. Second ending. Take your time. Wiggle for some vibrato. Isn't that pretty? So now you have the 2 weeks. Okay? 2 weeks, 3 songs. Frère, Jacques. Memorize it. Like, know everything about it. Bach's Menuett Suite in the G part, just pages 1 and 2. I can't think of a time better spent. All of those chords are going to show up in every single thing else we play. And then All of Me has a lot of more of that jazz chord feel to it. Several moments that are really, really tough and challenging that you'll probably have to work on. Remember, as I'm telling everybody all the time now, you don't need to play the whole song. You just got to play the parts that are hard. Once you figured out your way of surviving those hard parts, then the rest just drop. Then the rest of the song will drop in for you. I'll see you in 2 weeks, Sunday mornings. That's going to be a thing. I'm gonna stick to them forever. That's what I'm known for, is doing the same exact thing forever. I will be sending out emails. Obviously, if you're not on the email list, make sure you get on the email list. Sometimes they go in your spam folder. You got to check. But you'll get orchestra news. You'll get sheet music. You'll get updates on what's going on with this stuff. Hopefully, some encouragement. Digging in to some music theory stuff and getting some teaching manuals together. So all that stuff's headed your way. And just hopefully you'll reserve every other Sunday morning for an hour worth of just playing, right? Just enjoying playing a song. Maybe you didn't pick the song, but the song is worth playing, right? That's what we'll be doing. So good to see so many of you, as always. Let's see. Jan was here. Lynn, Vic, you're welcome. Kat, love every minute. Yeah, good to see you, Kat. Kat and I had lunch one time. Diane was here. Good to see you, Diane. Hopefully, every time I see Diane, guilt just eats at me because I know we need some new harmonica stuff and I got to get to it. Linda, good to see you. Robin, very pretty. Makes me want a baritone. Baritones are cheap, guys. And by cheap, right, everybody has a different idea of what cheap is. But the very best baritone that I sell, which is way better sounding than my Kamaka, comes from Ohana, and it's $325, I think. That's the top of the line, right? So you can get you actually keep an eye out on Craigslist. Now, the ones that are down there are usually pretty crummy, but find your local Ohana dealer and get that 35 It's a 35G. It's amazing, $325. Or most baritones are in the $250 range, so they're not super expensive. And once you have your ukulele life together, you can add that in with not too much brain chemistry, right? You got to think baritone. That's why you keep hearing me call it G chord a D chord, because I'm in baritone brain. But they're not like your ukulele, right? Ukulele, you want to spend some real legit money on it to get a really nice sounding one. But baritones are not terribly expensive, and you don't need to buy a top of the line one because they're no better than the cheaper ones. So that's that. All right, there you go. Let's see. Makes me fun to play. Jan, you're right. Robin, you're welcome. Lynn, set the reminder. I know, Lynn. It's hard to figure out the time sometime. Now harmonica. I know. No, not now. But I am going to get some harmonica stuff together. Thank you, Diane. I know. I'm guilt. And Jan has that Ohana baritone I'm talking about. It's amazing. Check out new flights on Southwest from Denver to Bellingham near. Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful? I'm going to go up the order. Linda's keeping an eye on flights for me to come up there. Bruce, good to see you, buddy. Rosemary Revelstoke. Thanks, Rosemary. I don't know what Rosemary Revelstoke's name means, but I'm glad you're here, Bruce. And I will see all you guys soon. Peace.